In accordance with a decree issued by His Honor the Governor, land taxes on the Western Territories have been declared delinquent on this day. If such delinquent levies are not received in Williamsburg within a fortnight, the land will be forfeit. Hey! 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 Hey!
Land taxes on the Western Territory.
Hey! Hey!
Hey, mister! Excuse me, but that announcement you just made.
If you'll be patient for a moment, I'm about to repeat it.
Well, I heard it. The thing I want to know is what land taxes are you talking about?
The taxes the Assembly voted in. A shilling an acre.
Or would that affect the Kentucky Territory?
It would.
Well, I wonder why we weren't notified before they had a chance to get delinquent.
I'm sure I don't know. Perhaps the governor might know, if you'd care to ask him.
That's just what I aim to do.
The only trouble is he's not in town.
Hear ye! Hear ye! Hear ye!
You say those new taxes were voted in by the Assembly 3 months ago? Well, what I want to know, Mr. Ainsley, is why we weren't notified.
I'm afraid I can't answer that question, Mr. Boone. All I know is that couriers were dispatched to the settlements.
Well, no courier came to Boonesboro.
Well, that's regrettable, of course, but I'm sure the governor will order an investigation when he returns.
What good is that going to do us?
None, I'm afraid. Either the money's paid on time or the land is forfeit, Mr. Boone. It's that simple.
Well, it's not that simple to me. That just gives me 2 weeks to get to Boonesboro, get the money, and come back here.
Well, then I suggest you leave immediately, Mr. Boone. There's nothing further I can do for you.
Boone in Williamsburg? Why?
I have no idea. The unfortunate part of it is he knows about the taxes. I expect he's on his way home now. I want him stopped.
How?
Shoot him if necessary. I won't have my plan spoiled now.
Kill Boone? I don't know, Ainsley. Why?
Oh, we'll let Stokes do it. He'll have no qualms about it. But you know the circumstances if you fail.
Yes, Ainsley, I know them.
Then keep them in mind. With 2 fast horses, you should have no difficulty in overtaking him. Goodbye, James.
Go.
Daniel Boone. From the coonskin cap on the top of old Dan to the heel of his rawhide shoe, the rippin'est, roarin'est, fightin'est man the frontier ever knew. Daniel Boone was a man, yes, a big man, and he fought for America to make all Americans free. What a Boone, what a doer, what a dream come truer was he.
He ain't coming.
Yes, he'll be coming.
What makes you so sure?
If I were Daniel Boone, and if I were in a great hurry, I'd come this way myself.
Yeah, but you ain't Daniel Boone, mister. Not by a long shot.
No, I ain't Daniel Boone. What's the matter, Stokes? You afraid of the great man?
I don't see you doing this job yourself.
I don't like bushwhacking. Besides, you're getting paid to do it. I'll go and check on the horses. Remember what I told you. I don't want him killed. I just want him slowed down.
That ain't what Mr. Ainsley wants.
Mr. Ainsley ain't here. You keep it in mind. If you kill him, I'll kill you.
Who are you, mister? I have no quarrel with you, or have I?
I thought you somebody else.
What's your name?
Stokes.
Stokes. I'll remember that in case we meet again. There's a lot of questions I could ask you if I had time. Roll over.
What are you going to do with that thumb?
I said roll over.
You fixing to leave me here all trussed up like this?
I figure you'll be able to work your way free in an hour or so. You'll find your rifle down the trail a ways. I don't know what you're after. And I warn you, don't make the same mistake twice.
I told you never to come to this office.
Now, don't get your shirt in a knot. I made sure that the governor was gone before I come around the back way.
I still don't like it.
Oh, you ain't gonna like what I gotta tell you either. Boone ain't dead.
You fool. You stupid fool. What happened?
Well, Dorsey didn't want him killed. Seems like Boone's a friend of his.
You were supposed to be taking orders from me, not Dorsey.
Yeah, I know that. But you didn't happen to be holding a gun on me at the time.
Dorsey did that?
Mm-hmm. He said he just wanted Boone slowed down, not dead. So I aimed to hit him in the leg.
Well, as long as he's unable to travel.
Last time I saw him, he was traveling real good. I missed him.
You missed?
Yeah. He moved just as I pulled the trigger. He'd like to kill me afterwards. He's mighty fierce once he's aroused, you know.
I suppose you told him everything.
Now, you know me better than that. I didn't tell him nothing.
Well, that's some consolation anyway. Where's Dorsey now?
The last I seen of him, he was heading west. Said he was going to take care of Boone himself.
He better had if he knows what's good for him. All right, Stokes. That'll be all.
Ain't you forgetting something?
Not that I'm aware of.
You ain't paid me yet. Oh, I see. Well, maybe I'd better wait and just see the governor, huh?
And put a noose around your neck?
The way I look at it, there ain't much difference between hanging and starving. You end up dead either way.
Get out of here.
Thank you, Captain. If you should need me again, you know where to find me.
What is it, Daniel? Didn't expect you back so soon.
I didn't expect to be back soon. I hope I didn't startle you. But I have some news that wouldn't wait.
You look like you've been traveling real hard, Daniel.
Well, I have. Do me a favor. Will you sound that alarm and get everybody in the tavern? We got ourselves a problem. So that leaves us mighty little time to raise the money and get it into Williamsburg. Otherwise, our land is forfeit.
How come we weren't told about these taxes sooner?
I reckon somebody made sure we wouldn't hear. Now, I was told that couriers were sent out 3 months ago. But on the way back, somebody tried to ambush me. Maybe that's what happened to the messengers.
Well, who do you reckon is behind it, Daniel?
I wish I knew. But if we don't get that money together, we're going to lose the land.
In 10 days? Well, that's impossible.
What are they trying to do to us?
They're trying to ruin us, that's what. Now, I just don't have that kind of money. And I'll bet I'm not the only one here. Anybody here wants to buy me out, they know where they can find me.
Stoner, we're not licked yet.
Wait a minute, Daniel. Stoner's right. You break your back. Indians, wilderness, what for? So a bunch of fat politicians can...
Clark, listen to me. Sure, we've all broken our backs trying to make something out of this country. But let's not bury it until it's dead.
Oh, that's fine talk, Daniel. But where am I supposed to get the money if I don't have it?
Well, there's not a man sitting in this room who hadn't helped out a neighbor when he was in a bad fix. And that's the kind of shape we're in. Lord knows there's not a lot of money around here, but some of us have more than we need, so let's start helping each other.
Yes, but Daniel, supposing there is enough money between us, what can we do? You know, collecting it'll take a little time. We only have a few days left.
You raise that money by dawn, I'll get it to Williamsburg.
Look at him. He's about ready to drop in his tracks.
Stoner.
Wait.
Stoner, did you ever hear Daniel make a promise he couldn't keep? All right, you miserable sod-busting, tree-chopping victims of tribulation and injustice. As head of the town council, I'm hereby open for business and tax collecting.
I'm with you, Timothy.
Daniel can do it if anybody can. But I've got all the faith in the world, Daniel.
Well, I don't know how we done it, Daniel, but we done it. And if there's an extra penny anywhere in this settlement, I don't know how you'd find it. Oh, you should have seen them. Everybody lending to everybody else. You'd want to be a regular professor of mathematics to figure out who owes what to who. Or what's going to happen if you don't... I mean, if you can't.
I haven't got time to think about it, Timothy.
You know, Daniel, there's times I envy you, and there's times I wouldn't be you for all the jewels and the fat king's crown.
A very sensible attitude, sir. It's a terrible responsibility being Daniel Boone.
Jim Dorsey.
A long time no see, Daniel.
Yeah, at least 5 years. I never thought you'd make it.
Ain't you going to introduce me, Daniel?
Well, it's Jim Dorsey, Timothy.
Timothy?
A little bit before your time. Just one of the finest trappers we've ever had around here.
Make that the second finest.
You know what I'll never forget? Tell me, remember that real hard winter we had about 5 years ago? Jim here came to my cabin and threw his traps down on the porch. And he said, "Donald, farewell. Dodging arrows while stealing beaver skins is a ridiculous way for an educated man to make his fortune. I'm going back where I belong." Looks like you did all right.
Well, maybe I didn't make a fortune, Daniel, but I did make enough to buy an old friend a drink.
Well, some other time, Jim. I've got some urgent business here. Hope you're still around when I get back. And be sure and say hello to Becky.
Well, you don't really have to go at all, Daniel.
What?
That is the tax money, isn't it?
How'd you know about any taxes?
Well, that's why I'm here. I'm on an errand for the governor. I'm trying to find out why that courier never arrived.
Just what'd you find out, Jim?
Nothing. Can't find a trace of him.
Does that mean we just have to pay you and not take this money to Williamsburg?
Well, no, I'm not a tax collector, but the money still has to be in Williamsburg, and since I'm going back, I could save you the trip.
Do you think you'd get it there in time?
Possibly. If not, under the circumstances, I think the governor would make allowances.
But you're not real sure.
Can't guarantee it, Daniel.
Well, in that case, I think I better take it myself.
Whatever you say. But only try and do you a favor.
And I appreciate that, but we have a lot more to lose around here than you have.
Whatever you say, Daniel.
And besides, the Tuscaroras are on the warpath.
Oh, hadn't heard that.
I didn't know it until last night myself. At least now you know why I feel like I've got to go.
Well, at least I could go with you. It'd be like old times again, traveling together.
Besides, it would be safer for both of us.
Well, thank you, Jim. We're glad to have your company.
Timothy?
How about those extra taxes, Jim? You must have some idea about them. Just about every penny in Boonesboro's in these pouches.
Territory needs money, I suppose. Roads, fortifications.
But why weren't we notified?
That's a question I can't answer. I suppose the governor will be curious, too.
Why only a 2-week extension? Don't they know how far away Boonesboro is?
I dare to venture that 90% of the legislature has never been west of the mountains. They probably think it's a nice, comfortable carriage ride.
I don't believe that. Something else to it. You know a man named Stokes?
Never heard of him. Why?
He tried to shoot me a couple of days ago.
You've been shot at before.
I know. But I can't help but think he's wound up in this.
Well, let's hope he doesn't try again. If he's that bad a shot, he could miss you and hit me.
Well, I guess if the horses are rested up, we might as well go ahead. Come on. Somehow I just can't picture you cooped up with a bunch of politicians. Not after all the time you spent out in the hills. Don't you ever miss it?
Not very often. I'm a town dweller now. I enjoy the finer things of life.
Depends on what you mean by the finer things.
Oh, a good soft bed, for instance. I don't relish the idea of sleeping on this hard ground again. As I have no choice. I must admit I'm pretty tired.
If you get tired enough, the ground feels pretty good.
Yeah?
Then I think I'll go down to the creek and get one more drink before I turn in. What happened?
The horses. Something spoke to them. Could be an animal, could be an Indian.
Yeah, maybe. Well, we haven't got time to worry about it.
We have to wait till daylight to catch him.
We haven't got time for that, Jim. We're just gonna have to walk it.
Walk it? Don't be a fool, man. You'll never make it traveling by foot.
I can try.
Don't fool yourself for nothing, Daniel. Well, take the money to Boonesboro. I'll talk to the governor. I'm sure he'll grant you an extension.
I don't dare gamble on it. Let's get started. We've got a long way to go.
Daniel, best boots in town, 5 pounds, but they weren't designed for mountain travel.
Here, put these on. I've been caught afoot on the trail before. I always carry an extra pair of moccasins.
Where'd you get them?
I tried the engine friend out of him. Tad of salt, string of beads.
Pat of salt and string of beads. Thank you, Daniel.
Hurry up, Jim. We can't waste any time.
Well, I'm afraid I can't keep pace with you anyway, Daniel.
Well, I'm sorry, Jim. I can't wait for you. You catch up with me in Williamsburg. Found our camp.
They'll be looking for us now.
There's a cave up ahead a ways.
You think you can find it in the dark?
They come back. We wait.
That's too bad, Daniel. We might be holed up here for quite a while.
Not for very long. You rest those feet of yours. I'll be back.
Where you going?
Trying to throw those braves off our track. Once we get past them, they're not apt to pick up the trail till daylight.
Hadn't you better leave that money bag with me? It'll only slow you down.
Slow me down that much. You can build a fire here if you want. They won't be able to see it.
we go.
Jim? Jim?
Still, Daniel. Still. Now move. Real careful. Slow. Slow, Daniel. Now, drop the gun. Drop it. Now hand over the money bags. Come on, Daniel, don't make me use this. Hand it over.
You wouldn't shoot me for money, Jim.
No, not for the money in that pouch.
But you would kill me to keep me from getting to Williamsburg. Why?
Why do you keep talking, Daniel? What difference does it make? Hand it over. Come on.
You're gonna be all right.
Pretty.
There's enough food here to take care of you. Something to bandage your foot. There's a spring in the back of the cave if you haven't found it yet.
You're not gonna leave me here now, are you?
You're gonna live. And when I come back, you're gonna tell me why you tried to keep me from getting to Williamsburg.
Wait a minute, Daniel. I'll tell you now. Wait.
I haven't got time.
Don't go, Daniel. It's cold-blooded murder. Don't go! It's murder, Daniel!
travel on that foot.
Travel? Where?
We're going to Williamsburg if I have to carry. And you're going to tell me what I'm going to find when I get there.
You're going to find that you're going to be late for your taxes. And the Boonesboro land is going to be forfeit.
Forfeit to who?
To a lot of fat, greedy politicians. Venerable members of your legislature.
How could you get mixed up in a deal like that?
Because, Daniel, I'm an extremely poor card player, and I owe an enormous sum of money to one of the gentlemen. He could ruin me, cost me my wife. I didn't want to risk that.
You've already risked that, Jim. How about the governor?
The governor is an honest man.
Well, maybe he'd like to know what's going on behind his back. I like honest men, Jim. Come on, let's go.
Why don't you go on alone? You could still make it if you run all the way.
If you don't get to Williamsburg in time to pay those taxes, you won't live long enough to enjoy being out of debt.
Come on, Daniel.
I'm not trying to scare you, Jim. I'm trying to save your life, or maybe you never heard of gangrene.
What are you gonna do?
I think I'll rig up a travois. I can pull you faster than you can walk. We're there.
What day? It's Sunday. You've lost the race, Daniel. You've lost it.
Yes. I'm Daniel Boone.
Daniel Boone, how nice. Jamie's told me so much about you. What is Jamie? Is he all right?
He's inside. The doctor's with him.
Oh, Jamie. Oh, Jamie, what is it?
Hello, Lydia. Oh, it's nothing. Everything's fine. Just ask Dr. Winters.
Nothing, indeed. One more day on the trail with this foot. If it hadn't been for Mr. Boone here. Do you have any brandy in the house, Mrs. Dorsey?
Yes, I do.
I'll be going.
Daniel. I'm sorry. Sorry.
Give that to Boone, my dear. And find him a place to sleep before he collapses.
Thank you. I still have some business to attend to.
Lydia, I'll take that.
Oh, where's he going?
On a fool's errand, Doctor. I ought to know, because I sent him on it.
I'm sorry, Mr. Boone. There is no way I can help you. The delinquent taxes have already been guaranteed by the Transylvania Land Company, and I am presently engaged in transferring the title in their name.
If I were you, I'd let that go until I've had a chance to talk with the governor.
Well, it wouldn't do you any good. He happens to be bound by the will of the legislature.
Well, he might be interested in knowing what the legislature's been up to.
I don't think I quite understand you.
Well, you will after I talk with the governor. Now, when can I see him?
Perhaps sometime next week, if he has any time available.
I don't mean next week. I mean today. Now, where is he?
In case you've forgotten, Mr. Boone, it's Sunday. I imagine he's in church.
I reckon I'll just have to drag him out.
As the governor's personal aide, I cannot permit you to invade his privacy.
How do you figure on stopping?
Mr. Boone, since you seem so determined, I'll contact the governor myself. If you'll return sometime this evening around 7 o'clock, say, I'll guarantee your audience.
I'll be back.
Thank you, Lydia. You know what you are?
What?
Never mind. I don't want to turn that pretty head.
Jamie? What did you mean by saying that Mr. Boone was going on a fool's errand and that you sent him on it?
Nothing important.
Oh. Well, then if it's nothing important, then why do you look so troubled? Is it your foot, darling? The doctor said you had no cause to worry.
No, it's fine. I was wondering what my life would be without you.
Why should you wonder that? I'm not going anyplace.
I hope not.
But don't be ridiculous. Jamie, you know I couldn't ever leave you.
It's not so ridiculous. Lydia, would you do a favor for an elderly cripple?
Oh, I suppose that's you.
I suppose. In the hallway there in the cabinet, there's a small strong box. Would you bring it to me, please? Thank you. It's a rather small receptacle to contain the futures of two people, isn't it?
Oh, now you're being quite ridiculous again.
No, Lydia, my dear. This, my dear, is Pandora's box, full of all the greed and miseries of the human race, a number of which I shall release shortly. Come in.
Hello, Mr. Boone. Will you join us in some tea?
Lydia, would you please leave us alone?
Of course, dear. I'll get a room ready for you. You look exhausted.
The answer was no, wasn't it? Who'd you see, Daniel? Ainsley? I suppose he was terribly sorry.
That's what he said.
And I suppose the governor was sorry, too.
Well, I haven't seen the governor yet. I'm supposed to see him at 7 o'clock. I reckon he won't believe me either.
He'll believe you, Daniel. He'll believe you. I have a present for you. A gift. It's all in here. The whole miserable deal. All. You go get some sleep and bring the governor to me. I would like to tell him myself.
What caused you to change your mind, Jim?
A man's got to live with himself, Daniel. And I reluctantly concluded that my alter ego would prove to be a most unpleasant companion.
What about your wife?
I haven't told her yet. I don't know how. You see, Daniel, you're a good man. And I'm such a... That's the thing. You saved my life when you had every reason to let me die. And that's it, Daniel. I don't know if I could have or would have done the same thing for you. There's just one thing I'd like to ask of you. I don't deserve it. I know that. But I'd like it. I'd like to be friends with you again. I'd like that.
It's preposterous. I refuse to believe such a thing.
I'm not asking you to believe me, sir. All I'm asking you to do is go with me. Mr. Dorsey has the written proof.
All right, I'll come with you. Mr. Ainsley, will you call my carriage?
Right away, sir.
I'm sorry about your settlement, Mr. Boone, but I sincerely hope you're wrong about this whole affair.
Come in. Door's open. Governor, what a surprise to see you, sir. I'd offer you gentlemen refreshments, but I'm incapacitated. My wife's gone to bed. What can I do for you, sir?
Well, what is this, Mr. Boone? What kind of a game are you playing?
Is something wrong?
Where's the strongbox, Jim? The evidence you were going to show the governor.
What evidence? Boone, I don't understand. What's he talking about?
Mr. Boone came to me earlier, Dorsey, and told me that you had evidence of a conspiracy to defraud the people of Boonesboro of their land, that you were part of it, and that you were willing to confess and give evidence to enable me to accept their delinquent taxes. Now, that was what you told me, wasn't it?
That's what I told you. And that's what Mr. Dorsey told me.
Well, Dorsey?
Well, I don't know what to say, sir, except that I'm astonished.
I can't imagine what you hope to accomplish by this foolishness, Mr. Boone. If it was intended as a joke, it's in extremely poor taste. I apologize, Governor, for my part in the whole affair.
Night, Dorsey.
Good night, Governor.
Good night, Mr. Boone. I suppose I can't blame you for trying.
I'll see you to your carriage, Governor.
Good night, Jim. You haven't heard the last of this yet.
James, sit down. You should be on that foot so soon. I want to have a little talk with you. Allow me to congratulate you on a magnificent performance. I think the governor was quite convinced.
And give me back my IOUs and have my wife released.
All in good time, James. But first of all, you and I should reach an understanding. I didn't want you in on this to begin with, James. I told the others you wouldn't be reliable. But your friendship with Boone was advantageous to us. Taking it all in all, you've been most disappointing. I'm afraid we have no further need of you.
What's going to happen to my wife?
Oh, unfortunately, she knows too much. So I see no help for it but to wish the both of you a happy journey. You're going on a long trip.
Hold it. Put it down, Ainsley.
Jamie. Jamie.
I'm all right, Lydia. I'm all right. I never felt better in my life.
You're the one that's going on a little trip, and I figure it'll be for a long time. We'll be back, Jim. We have a little talk with the governor coming up.
Hold him steady, Flint. An engine. Where there's one engine, there's dozens of them. Roll him. Boone's Barrow's dead ahead. Yo!
Come on, settle down, Jake. That engine ain't going nowhere.
I ain't taking no chances with my supplies or my scalp. Let's go. Get up there. Get up. Come on, boys. Yeah. Come on, boys. Get up there. Get up there, boys. Come on. Yeah. Come on, yeah.
Hey, watch it, Jake. Again. Hold it, Jake. Hold it. Watch it, Jake. Hold it, Jake. Hold it.
Daniel Boone. From the coonskin cap on the top of old Dan to the heel of his rawhide shoe, the rippenest, roaringest, fightingest man the frontier ever knew. Daniel Boone was a man, yes, a big man, and he fought for America to make all Americans free. What a Boone, what a doer, what a dream come truer was he.
Last one. Let's go up on the road and get Israel.
Tanya.
I was a goner, Pa, until he came along and saved me.
Yes, I saw. Red Sky was never so happy to see anybody in my whole life.
Does Boone know me?
Yes, I sat in council with Chief Nohemo, and I've seen you.
Boone has sharp eyes. When the Shawnee take counsel, Red Sky sits in the shadows.
Red Sky is the one with sharp eyes today.
Indeed he is.
How is it that Red Sky is so far from his village?
Hunting. Game grows scarce. My village is hungry. I hope to take back much meat, but so far nothing.
Well, Red Sky, you're going to take back a wagon load of venison if I have to hunt for a week. Now, wait. Surely, after all you've done, you're going to let me show my thanks.
It is good for Red Sky to save Boone's son. It is not good for Red Sky to take Boone's venison back to the Shawnee.
Well, I don't quite understand.
Tall Deer, the great hunter, would laugh if I bring back only what Boone has slain. No, I must prove myself to be as great a hunter as he.
Some other gift. You just name it.
You carry it in your hands.
Tick clicker?
Boone's rifle is known to carry great magic. Its lightning reaches far, and it protects the one who carries it from all enemies.
Well, Ticklicker's a fine rifle, Red Sky, but it's not all that fine.
I see. I ask too much.
No, if that's what you want, you're welcome to it. Here it is.
Red Sky shall be the greatest of hunters.
I hope so. It might be a good idea to see how a Ticklicker operates. Did you ever fire a rifle before?
Only the store muskets. Never a gun that cannot miss.
Well, why don't you set up a couple of targets over there for yourself, and we'll try a couple.
Somehow, Daniel, I believe that the sooner you can convince him that rifle isn't the magic he thinks it is, the better.
I think he's about to find that out for himself right now.
He wouldn't find that out if you were doing the shooting, Pa.
Are you ready? That's fine shooting, Red Sky. Let me have old Ticklicker and I'll show you how to reload it. I'm going to put in a little powder. No more and no less than that. And a little shot. And we set the ball down solid. And then we tamp the patch down firm. Now a little powder for the pan. And just hold a fine sight on your target and squeeze slow. Why don't you walk along with us a bit?
Bird is not far off. It'll be food while I hunt.
Fine shooting, Red Sky.
It's the magic of the rifle. Red Sky will not be just a great hunter. He will no longer sit in the shadows of Chief Nohimo's fire, but at his right hand. Nohimo will listen to his counsel, and Tall Deer will be silent.
I wonder if he's always been that ambitious, Daniel, or if he's only now begun to feel that way.
I don't know. I kind of wished he'd missed that grouse. He's got me almost believing that Ticklicker is possessed.
Well, a Shawnee brave who's convinced that he carries great medicine can be a dangerous man.
Yeah, but a Shawnee tribe with all the wrinkles out of their belly can be powerfully content.
That's true.
Maybe Ticklicker is magic, Pa. How could Red Sky shoot so well if it isn't?
Well, maybe his belief gives him confidence and a steady hand.
When next you visit Nohimo, I promise you a feast.
Well, let's head for home. And now, young man, I want you to tell me how it happened that you were hanging over that cliff.
I got run off the road.
Run off the road?
Yeah, by a couple of wagons going lickety-split. And there's one of them right over there.
Hello, Boone. Hey, took the curve too fast. The Indians after us.
The only Indian I saw was the one that saved my boy after you ran him off the road.
Was this your boy? I never saw him before in my life. Besides, I never saw anybody in the road. Did you, Flint?
No, I never saw anyone.
Must have been too busy looking for Indians that weren't there to see someone who was.
Now, don't tell me what I saw or didn't see. I can believe my own eyes.
Let's just let it drop, Jake. Especially since you're going to be laid up in Boonesboro a few days with that busted wheel. Come on, son.
Cook it for me, Wahani. We will feast together. I have need of 4 braves, Nohimo.
I am in council with Tall Deer, Red Sky.
I join that council. I have brought food.
Does Red Sky think because he brought home a turkey, it gives him the right to give orders and ask for warriors?
Tall Deer speaks too soon. I ask for braves to help bring home more venison than I can carry. Perhaps Tall Deer will join these braves.
Take care, Red Sky. If what you say is true, I will send women for the venison.
If it is true.
You doubt my word?
We shall find out. Wahani.
No, Wahani stays here.
You see, there is no game.
Once more, I ask Tall Deer to see for himself.
How did Red Sky suddenly become such a hunter?
With powerful magic, Nohimo. The gun of the long knives, the rifle of Daniel Boone.
This, at least, is true. I have seen it in Big Turtle's hands.
Red Sky stole it.
A gift. A gift for the life of his son.
You go, Red Sky. Go now and never return, or you will die.
Tall Deer has called me thief and liar. It is he who will go, or die.
Red Sky is brave while he holds a gun, and I am unarmed.
Your gun stands in front of your wigwam. Do not fear. I will not shoot you in the back. Take your gun and go. You are safe.
I go, Red Sky.
I speak truth. And this is my voice!
I sure feel awful being the reason why Pa had to give away old Tick Licker.
Well, he was grateful, Israel. Besides, don't you consider yourself worth more than a gun?
Well, maybe. But Tick Licker was Pa's most favorite tiss.
The barrel is true, Daniel. Israel, the word is favorite, not favoritist. And since the word favorite means the highest in one's affection, we don't have to qualify it with the word most. So, Tick Licker was your father's favorite gun.
Tick Licker was Pa's favorite gun.
Right.
It sure is too bad he had to give it away.
Well, a gun can always be replaced. But a son, that's not so easy.
There, Clark, just a hair to the right.
Clark. You gonna fool around with Boone's gun all day? You told me my wheel would be rimmed and ready to roll come noon.
Yeah, well, it ain't quite ready yet. Takes a little time to shrink a rim onto a wheel.
How much time? I got a load of supplies to get to Harrodsburg.
I'll be with you just as soon as I finish helping Mr. Boone.
Go ahead, Clark. Get Jake's wagon rolling.
Hey, Pa, look!
That's one of the Indians that was after us. The one in front.
Well, that's Red Sky, but he was alone. That's the one that saved Israel's life.
Well, he ain't alone now. He's probably here to find out when our wagons are ready to leave. Come on, Clark. I want that wheel fixed now.
Hello there, Red Sky. How you getting along with old Tick Licker?
As you see, I brought furs to trade for more lead and powder.
Well, I think that can be arranged. Used to be Tall Deer did all the trading.
Tall Deer sleeps the eternal sleep. It is Red Sky who sits at the right hand of Nohimo.
What happened to Tall Deer?
He called me liar when I said that Tick Licker was Boone's gift. Tick Licker answered for me. It was a fair fight. There were many witnesses.
I'm sure that's true, Red Sky. It's just too bad there had to be a fight at all.
How about coming by my cabin this afternoon? I'd like to have a little powwow with you.
Yes, I will come.
Israel, run home and tell your ma we're going to have company.
Okay, Pa.
You will soon learn, Red Sky, that sometimes Tick Licker misses.
It cannot miss. I would ask Boone a question.
Go ahead.
Why have you not killed the man who almost killed your son?
You mean Jake Manning? Well, he claims he didn't see Israel. There's no way to prove he's not telling the truth. Either way, it could have been an accident.
Can it be that without the magic of Tick Licker, Boone dare not face his enemy?
No. Let's go see what those furs of yours are worth.
No. Boone has done much for me. I am no longer a child to be led by the hand. I will bargain these furs myself.
Fine, Red Sky. I'm sure Higgins will give you a fair price. I'll just stay here and fire a few more rounds with my new rifle. When you get ready, come by and get me.
Wait for me at the river. There will be much to carry.
Boone's a fool, making himself beholden to a thieving Injun.
Boone's got a lot to be grateful for.
I ain't so sure. Keep working on that wheel.
There's been a change in Red Sky.
Yes, there has. I'm not sure I like it.
And all because of a gun that cannot miss.
I'm beginning to think instead of rewarding Red Sky for saving Israel's life, I might have done him a bad turn.
Yes, but how to undo it?
Well, when he comes over this afternoon, I just might get him in a shooting contest. Sooner or later, he's bound to miss. How'd you like to join us?
I'd be delighted. But you'd better get some practice in with that new rifle, or you may be the first to miss.
A nice batch of skins, Red Sky. Oh, I'd say a couple of kegs of powder and enough lead for 150 rounds and a little something extra. How about a new powder horn?
No, something to please a young woman.
Yeah. Well, got a whole shelf full of trinkets there. Take a look while I get your stuff together.
Have yourselves a drink. Find yourself a new war bonnet, Injun? I've seen you before.
Yes.
Turn around when I'm talking to you.
And speak softly.
Better get down. Hurry.
You're a mighty brave buck with that rifle, ain't you? Well, you don't scare me none. This Injun was out spying on my wagon train coming into Boonesboro. Now he's come back with some others, waiting for us to leave so they can ambush us. Ain't that right, Injun?
Talk on, white man.
Take it easy, Jake. Red Sky's here to trade furs. Besides, we've got a peace treaty with the Shawnee.
I ain't trusting to no peace treaties. I want this Injun locked up until my wagons are a good half day on the road.
The wagon driver has guilt on his mind.
What are you talking about?
You hate me because I am witness to your cowardice.
Witness to what cowardice?
A boy on the road. Boone did not see, but I saw. You forced him over the cliff. You watched him falling and you drove on.
Well, that's a lie.
You have a gun in your hand. See if it speaks truth.
Hold it, both of you. Clark's got your wheel and collect your men and start rolling.
With that Injun on my trail?
Nobody's gonna be on your trail. Red Sky's coming home with me. Now move!
Hold it, Injun. No shoot. Come on, over here.
Those folks in Harrodsburg didn't need their supplies, I'd go on your way. Thank you.
I still do not understand why you did not kill Jake.
Well, because in the white man's world, Red Sky, we have laws that tell when a man can be punished by death.
And what Jake did to your son was not enough?
Nope. Driving away without knowing that Israel was safe was mean and cowardly, but it's not reason to kill.
Insult is not enough? His striking you was not enough?
No, he was drunk.
Then what is enough?
Well, a man can kill to protect himself or the lives of others. And there might be a few other reasons to justify killing, but not many.
I would kill for many reasons.
What do you say we get started?
River ahead. Yeah, I know where to ford. Looks like somebody else knows too.
Could be those skulking Shawnee waiting for us.
Well, Jake, there was only 4 of them.
Yeah. So if we get the drop on them and wipe them out, we'll teach that Red Sky a lesson, and Boone too.
Ain't you had enough yet?
I know what I'm doing. Look, we'll pull those trees yonder and then move in on foot.
They don't look too warlike to me, Jake.
I don't aim to give him a chance to be. I'll get the one with the fire. You get the one having target practice.
I don't like it, Jake. Maybe we better go on.
And let him get behind us.
All right, we'll take turns. The first one misses is eliminated. Last one still upwinds. Right, Red Sky?
Unless you both miss, we will shoot forever.
All right, who's going to shoot first?
I don't mind getting mine over with.
It's over by the roof. Well, my warriors are waiting. Is this not reason to kill?
It does look like cold-blooded murder.
And the white man's penalty for murder is death. We have to know for sure who's guilty.
It was Jake Manning and his men. Who else would leave wagon tracks?
That seems most likely. There were 4 men, all right. Whether or not they're all guilty, we don't know yet.
I know.
Wait. We have to prove it first.
How?
By going back to the fort, by getting witnesses, by having a white man's trial. I promise you that the men who did this will pay the white man's penalty. I want you to go with me, Red Sky. It's up to the white man to punish his own kind that break the treaty with the Shawnee.
The bodies are not yet cold. The wagons cannot be far off.
We might catch them and take them prisoner before they get to Harrodsburg.
Prisoner? You go on, Boone. Get your witnesses.
Well, where will you be?
I remain here with the dead.
Bingo will stay with you. I'll be back as soon as I can with all the men I can muster.
He left you here to guard me.
To guard you, Red Sky. Just to keep you from doing something you might regret later. Believe me, I know how you feel.
If you know how I feel, you will go with me. The wagons are not far off and they're moving slowly. We can overtake them.
No, we'll wait here for Boone. This is a white man's crime. The white man must punish in the white man's way.
The white man's way is not to punish at all. Boone could have killed Jake Manning and he did not. I could have killed Jake, but Boone stopped me. Now there is no one here to stop me. I go alone. Farewell.
Red Sky, you're going to have to understand that Boone means what he says. Jake Manning did what he did as much out of hatred for Boone as for you. If you go after those men alone, they could kill you too, and then claim they acted in self-defense.
Dead men say nothing.
That would be worse. The truth must be known. This could lead to all-out war. Those men have to be tried.
I will try them with this. You remain here. Wait for Boone. Tell him that Red Sky does not need white man's justice as long as he holds in his hands the magic gun.
As long as Red Sky believes that gun is all-powerful, there's no courage in what he does. You're not killing for justice. You're killing because you believe you have the power to kill.
And do not anger me by standing in my way.
Oh, honey. I came to help you carry the supplies. Your face, your eyes. What's happened?
My warriors are dead by the hands of white men. Wahani, go back to the tribe. Tell the braves they will find Red Sky on the road to Harrodsburg.
All I'm saying is we've got to move fast and bring those men to justice before the Shawnee do it themselves. If we don't, the Shawnee are going to hold us responsible, and that's going to mean an all-out war.
That's right. That's right.
So if we're agreed, let's get moving.
murder, Jake. And I had no part in it. All I'm asking is, if anybody says anything, tell them we were attacked. A man's got a right to defend himself, ain't he? Told you they were after us. Get up there. Get up. Yeah. 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 Get up there. Yeah. Get up there. Jake, wait.
Matadors. Take warriors, bring in the wagons. That one I want alive.
What happened to Red Sky? I'm sorry, Daniel. I couldn't stop him. He's gone after Jake himself.
Mingo, I want you to go to the Shawnee village and find Chief Nohimo. Tell him what's happened. Tell him we're after the men who did this and that we'll punish them.
I only hope I'm not too late.
Clint, you and Weaver bury these men. The rest of you, come on.
Here's one that's not going to tell us what happened.
Help! Help!
Red Sky. I saw him.
Tell me this, Flint. Who killed those Shawnee braves?
Jake and the other two drivers. I tried to talk him out of it, but Jake, he hates Indians. Scared of them.
All right, save your strength. I'll want you to say that at the trial if there's anybody left to try. Ira, you and Williams put a splint on his leg and bring him along. The rest of you come along with me.
The young warriors are long gone, answering the call of Red Sky. And if all is as you say, the killers will die.
But Red Sky cannot take the law into his own hands. Boone wants those men tried as an example to other white men who violate treaties. Red Sky. These supplies belong to the people of Harrodsburg. These men were only delivering them.
People of Harrodsburg can have them, if they can take them.
You know what that would mean?
Yes, war. They will die.
Red Sky, can't you see what you're doing? Boone is trying to help you. He wants that man himself.
And let Boone come for him. To bring all of his men and try to take my prisoner away. I will keep him alive for him. But tell him we wait for him with many guns, led by the gun that kills and kills and kills.
So that's the situation, Daniel. In all but name, Red Sky is chief. He's beyond all reason. He thinks that gun is invincible, and he's inviting the whole world to come and fight him.
Well, I say let him have Jake. I'm not risking my skin to save any cold-blooded murderer.
That's not the point, Clark. I'm not too interested in saving Jake's neck myself, but I am interested in saving all the rest of us. Red Sky has to learn the meaning of the law. And if we don't meet his challenge now, he's going to become the law. That means death to the white man.
Yeah, but what can we do, Daniel? The Shawnee must outnumber us 20 to 1. They get all those stolen guns. Now, I say we warn the folk at Harrodsburg and then get back to the stockade where we'll have a fighting chance.
That's exactly the war I want to avoid. There just might be another way of doing this. Mingo, I want you to go back to Red Sky. Only this time I want you to take a challenge to him. From me.
Open the eye that looks down the barrel.
Red Sky. I would have counsel with you.
And what counsel can you give, Nohimo?
You take my authority, ordering the warriors to arms without consulting me.
Must I consult you before my rifle feeds a whole tribe? Must I consult you before I take vengeance on those who killed my companions?
No. Provide meat is the duty of every warrior. To kill those who kill us is Shawnee justice. But now you have stolen goods from those with whom we are at peace and prepare to make war upon them in violation of our treaty.
It is he who broke the treaty.
No. He is a killer who has broken the white man's law as well as ours. Let Boone have him.
You grow old, Nohimo, and your heart is feeble. Your commands are heard only by the ancients. I have already invited Boone to take my prisoner, but he will not come. In my hands, I hold Boone's magic, the gun that cannot miss. Without it, Boone dare not set foot on Shawnee territory.
Not true, Red Sky. Daniel Boone has accepted your invitation. He's crossed the river, and even now stands in the Shawnee forest.
You hear? The Long Knives come, and they shall die!
Not all the Long Knives! Before you call your braves to battle, Red Sky, first hear the words of Daniel Boone.
Speak.
7 suns ago, Big Turtle gave Red Sky the gift of his choice. True, a small gift in return for what Red Sky had done. But now Boone sees it was an evil gift as well, for it's brought him to the verge of war with his friends. And so we must take back the gift and replace it with another.
Boone wants his magic back.
Not magic. Boone shall prove this.
Red Sky! I was miss number one for the gun that never misses, Red Sky. I could take that gun from you, but I'd rather you'd have a few more shots first.
Shot from the enchanted gun. Therefore, the others must have missed. And there'll be more misses. Because there's no magic in any gun. Only the skill of the man who fires it.
You must be running out of powder and shot. It's another miss. Red Sky, listen to me. You saved the life of my son, and I'm giving back your life. It's just one of the gifts I still owe you.
I do not want my life to live disgraced in the shadows.
Maybe I'm giving you a chance to come out of the shadows. No chief ever ruled his tribe with superstition, and no man is a law unto himself. Now, you've killed 3 men, and that's enough. Now, I'm gonna let you up. Don't try to run, and don't fight.
Man still lives who must die. The man I saw with you.
That's where you're wrong. Flint had nothing to do with the killing of your braves. He tried to stop the others. He's the only witness you've got to prove that you're not a cold-blooded murderer.
This is truth?
I'll testify to that at Jake Manning's trial. Now let's go to your village and get him. Was magic, Red Sky, but it's still a good rifle. If you can remember that, I'll give it back to you.
You keep it, Boone. Give me your new rifle. I know it is not enchanted.
Has the jury reached a verdict?
Yes, Your Honor, we have.
May the court hear that verdict?
Yes, Your Honor. We find the prisoner guilty of murder in the first degree.
Red Sky, you've seen white man's justice at work. A fair trial?
Yes. The truth is known. The guilty is condemned, and the goods I have stolen are restored.
Only because Ticklicker left Flint alive to testify. Had he died, there could have been no trial.
And Red Sky would have been guilty of killing an innocent man.
There's more to it than that. There's that other gift I spoke of.
I know what it is, Boone. The gift of a clear mind and peace. Farewell.
right track. It seems to me we should have been there long before now.
Everybody said just follow the river and we'd run right smack dab into Fort West Point. So as long as we keep sight of the... Bingo. Take a look.
Maybe I misunderstood what we were told in Philadelphia, but I was under the impression that this territory was held by the Americans.
You'll have no trouble getting from here to Fort West Point, gentlemen. There are no British soldiers on the west bank of the Hudson.
I'm glad to know you heard the same thing I did. Although it seems that someone might have been mistaken.
It does seem that way.
Captain, have your men bring the boats ashore and hide them. Establish your camp in that heavy growth of timber. Be on the alert for American patrols. If all goes well, I should be back by dawn. If I am delayed, maintain your position until I return.
And if you don't return, sir?
Now, what could possibly detain me?
Well, may I remind you, Major, if you're captured out of uniform, you'll be hanged outright as a spy.
A remote possibility, since I'm traveling on a pass signed by the commandant at West Point. As you can see, Captain, everything is going as we planned. My negotiations are successful. The rebellion will be ended in a month.
Ah. What do you make of that?
A civilian being put ashore by a large escort of British soldiers. I don't know, Mingo.
Sir. I hope I haven't kept you waiting.
No, sir, I've just this moment gotten here.
The rendezvous has been arranged?
Yes, sir, we should be there by dark.
Let's be off. Now, carry on.
Yes, sir. And good luck, sir.
Thank you, Captain.
I've got an idea that General Washington will be very interested to know about this.
Daniel Boone, what a doer, what a dream come a brewer, what Daniel Boone. From a coonskin cap on the top of old Dan to the heel of his rawhide shoe, the rippin'est, roarin'est, fightin'est man the frontier ever knew. Daniel Boone was a man, yes, a big man, and he fought for America to make all Americans free. What a Boone, what a doer, what a dream come a brewer was he.
Carry on, men.
General, good evening to you, sir.
Good evening, Roby. I see the Rangers are engaged in one of their gentler pastimes.
Yes, sir. There's a gentleman waiting for you in the back room, sir.
Mr. Anderson. An old friend of mine. Fetch me a pitcher of hot rum, Roby.
Yes, sir. And a pot of honey and a dish of butter for a flavoring.
Ah, Roby, you know my weakness.
Come on, Purvis, you got it now. Bring the gun, slave boy.
General Scott?
Mr. Anderson.
We meet at last. Would you care to join me for a brandy?
Thank you. I prefer a more robust drink.
wise, General, to have planned this meeting in a roadside tavern?
A business meeting in a public place? What's there to be suspect in that? Or would you have preferred coming to my headquarters? Ah, Roby. Thank you. Now, will you see to it that we're not disturbed?
Yes, sir. And if there's something else you need, please let me know.
The proprietor?
Friend of mine. A Tory sympathizer and a greedy man. He's already bought and paid for.
I accept your judgment, General. You'll excuse my nervousness, but this is my first experience as a spy.
But it's my first experience as a traitor.
And I must say, you have a most cold-blooded attitude about it.
I'm a businessman, among other things. I have merchandise to sell. From your correspondence, I assume you're interested in buying.
I'll listen to your term.
20,000 pounds, plus compensation for the property I stand to lose.
You drive a hard bargain.
On the contrary, I consider it extremely generous. As long as the Americans retain control of shipping on the Hudson River, Britain can't possibly win this war. Once they lose that control, the war will end within a matter of a few days.
I'll grant you that.
And so I sell you Fort West Point for the sum I have mentioned. 100 cannon, powder, shot, supplies, and a nation.
And just how do you intend doing this?
Is it a bargain?
If I think your plans are feasible.
Then listen very carefully.
You do it again.
Well, I don't know about you, Mingo, but I'm ready for some good hot food and a little rest.
Dad, don't tell me you're growing tired of my cooking.
I hate to tell you this, but you're possibly the worst cook in the world outside of myself.
Good evening, gentlemen. Come, sit by the fire and warm yourselves.
Well, now, would you look what just walked inside the door?
First time I've sat down in 2 days.
I take it you've traveled some distance.
From Kentucky.
A long way indeed. Now, what can I do for you, gentlemen?
Well, for one thing, you can tell us how much further it is to Fort West Point.
A little over 5 miles, but I'd advise against your traveling at night. There are thugs and highwaymen abroad, and if you're carrying anything of value...
I don't think we've got anything of particular value, but we'd kind of like to keep what we've got. I think we'll stay overnight if you can provide us with lodging.
As good as any in New York. $1 for the two of you for room and supper.
Sounds fair enough.
Perhaps you'd like a hot rum while I get the food.
Like a hot rum? That sounds good, too.
Then make yourselves at home. I'll be with you in just a moment.
Purvis, what are you fixing to do? I'm fixing to extend a personal welcome to that strange Indian who's come amongst us.
Oh, now, my, aren't you a wonderful man, even though you can't arm wrestle? I'll go with you.
Oh, what can we do for you?
We got this rule that says any Indian comes in here has got to stand around of drinks.
Quaint local custom, I presume.
Well, no. The fact is, I just now made it up.
Well, why don't you just unmake it and go back over there and sit down with your friends?
Mister, I can see you're going to try my patience.
General.
Sit down, Mr. Anderson. It's just a barroom brawl. There's no cause for alarm.
Now you done it. You went and made me mad.
I got a feeling those two are downright unfriendly, Purvis.
Please, can't you do something?
Now, landlord, don't you fret. They're just trying to decide who's going to buy the drinks.
About that rule that the Indian always buys the drinks?
Well, I got that a little backwards. What I meant to say was, any Indian comes in here, I got to buy the drinks. Because his being here shows his courage, and I'm a man who appreciates courage. Stranger, you just knocked me further than I've ever been knocked before, and I got to admire you for it.
There you have the strategy I planned. You find it feasible?
I find no major flaws in it, except for one detail.
What's that?
The iron chain and log boom you have stretched across the river to stop navigation.
One link in that chain has already been removed. Sail your ships upriver. It's an easy task to separate the boom.
It seems you've thought of everything.
I'm a soldier, Major Andre.
Mr. Anderson, if you please.
I beg your pardon, Mr. Anderson. As I said, I'm a soldier, and as such, I do not commit myself without first planning my campaign.
How can I be sure that this campaign of yours is not a clever ruse to draw Sir Henry Clinton and his army into a trap?
As I have explained in our previous correspondence, I am disenchanted with the acts of Congress, violently opposed to our French alliance. I am also in desperate need of money. I consider those sufficient reasons for transferring my loyalty to the Crown. If I can be assured of my personal safety and adequate indemnification for my property. And I see no reason why my word should be questioned.
If you'll forgive me, you are presently engaged in violating your oath of loyalty to your country. The word of a traitor must always be suspect.
I suppose you're aware that I could have you arrested and hanged as a spy. I'll refrain from that, because I gave my word that you could cross our lines and return unmolested. The word is still good, but I can see we have no further business to discuss.
Sit down, General. You've left your rum unfinished. I apologize for my remark. But I must be positive about your attitude. Sir Henry would surely have my hide if I were to fumble such an opportunity.
Very well.
It seems we've discussed everything except the time. Or had you taken that into consideration yet?
Today is the 21st of September, allowing 1 day for your return and 2 days for Sir Henry to bring his army north. West Point should be in British hands by the 26th.
So soon?
There's a reason for the urgency. General Washington left for Hartford this morning to be gone a week. It must be done during his absence or not done at all.
I'll tell Sir Henry.
You'll dine with me here tomorrow night. I'll have diagrams of my troop disposition and plans of our fortifications.
I'd hoped to return tonight.
I have yet to draw the diagrams.
And under the circumstances, I dislike carrying any papers.
I'm afraid there's no other way. If I send them through the post, they might be delayed.
Very well. Tomorrow night, then, at the same time.
Until tomorrow. Good night, Mr. Anderson.
Attention!
What's been going on here, landlord?
Slight misunderstanding, sir, but it's all been taken care of now.
If there's been any damage, bill them for it. I'll see to it that you're paid.
Yes, sir.
All right, back to the post, or I'll have every mother's son of you in irons.
Well, you heard the man. Let's go.
Landlord? I find I'll be staying over after all. If you have a room available.
Yes, sir. Right this way.
civilian at the river. We didn't get a real close look at him, but that cape and those boots, there's no doubt that he's dressed the same. Coming ashore in a British boat for a private conference with the General of the Continental Army. Can you make anything of that? I could make quite a lot of that without stretching my imagination too far.
I take it that you both come to volunteer.
Volunteer? I just came to see General Washington.
Well, you got a long ride ahead of you. He left for Connecticut yesterday. Do you have any particular business with him?
All I know is that he sent for me.
Is your name Boone?
That's right.
Well, we've been waiting on you. My name's Tad Arlen.
It's my friend Mingo.
Mingo, howdy.
It's a pleasure indeed.
Does he always talk like that?
Well, except when he's talking Indian. You said you've been waiting for me, Tad. What for?
You mean to tell me you don't know?
Nope.
Well, I could tell you, but I reckon I ought to leave that up to General Scott.
General Scott?
He's a commander of this here post, and he don't like people taking on authority.
Where can I find him?
Oh, no, you won't find him around here. Accommodations didn't suit his taste, so he set up headquarters in his mansion house about a mile downstream. If you want to wait while I saddle up my horse, I'll take you to him.
The British are presently involved in a major attempt to cut the colonies in two. We're informed that Major Guy Carlton, with 600 soldiers and 200 Indians, is advancing down the shores of Lake Champlain in the direction of Schenectady and Albany. Sir John Johnson, with 600 regulars, has been joined by Brant, with 600 Indians, at Unadilla. This force will sweep toward the frontiers at the headwaters of the Schoharie. Now, our troops in this area are numerically inadequate to cope with such an overwhelming force. And it is General Washington's intent to create a diversionary action to relieve the pressure. In order to do this, he hopes to form a company of volunteers, 150 strong, all woodsmen and experienced Indian fighters. Now, this force will move west along the Mohawk, destroying the Indian villages. You, Mr. Boone, have been selected as their captain. Are there any questions?
When is all this supposed to get underway?
Oh, as soon as the men can be assembled and equipped.
How many men do you have today?
Well, they've been straggling in by ones and twos. How many would you say, Sergeant?
Oh, I'd say about 20, including myself, sir.
I'm afraid the response has not been as enthusiastic as General Washington anticipated. It's quite possible that you made a long and arduous trip, all for nothing. At any rate, nothing can be done until the General returns.
When is that?
Hopefully, within a week. However, that depends on how things are progressing toward the east. And now, if there are no further questions.
Oh, I almost forgot, General.
Yes, Mr. Boone.
Mingo and I saw some British soldiers coming ashore 10, 12 miles down the river.
British troops on the west side of the river? I'll have it investigated, Mr. Boone.
They had a civilian with them.
Oh, that would explain it then. Undoubtedly a mail courier. They're permitted to go back and forth under a flag of truce.
You ought to know, General, you were with that man in that tavern down the road last night.
Oh, you mean Mr. Anderson? A merchant from New York. I did business with him in Philadelphia.
A merchant with a military escort.
A privileged character, Mr. Boone. He has dealings with both sides. It's not at all unusual.
Just thought I'd mention it. Something wrong, Mingo?
I've always thought of you as a sensible man, Daniel.
That's very nice of you.
But I'm beginning to change my opinion after that parting remark of yours. Was it really wise to blurt out everything you know?
I just wanted to see what he would do.
I hope you're satisfied.
Reasonably so. What I'd really like to know is what kind of merchandise Mr. Anderson deals in.
Hey, what are you two talking about?
Maybe nothing at all. Since we're in no big hurry to get back to the fort, why don't we stop off that little tavern down the road? I'll buy the drinks.
Well, that sounds like a sensible idea. General George Washington in the Continental Congress.
How long have you been around here, Ted?
Oh, about a month now. I only live a little way upriver, so I reckon I was just about the first one to get the word.
What do you know about this General Scott?
Oh, about what everybody else knows, I guess.
Well, how much is that? Mingo and I are from the back country, and we're not too well informed.
Well, folks say he's married to this girl from Philadelphia. Come from a real rich family. Couldn't get along on what a general gets paid, so...
Starts to get more and more in debt.
That's right. I even heard he misused Army funds. If it hadn't been for General Washington, they'd have busted him clean out of the Army.
Is he still married to this woman?
Yeah. I've seen her a couple times when she come up from Philadelphia. She's a real good-looking girl.
Well, I reckon that explains it, then.
Explains what?
Well, I was just wondering what it'd take for a man to start dealing with the British.
General Scott?
It's beginning to look that way.
Well, I admit I don't care much for him, but I'd hate to believe that about him.
You'd best begin to prepare yourself.
Sergeant Arlen?
Corporal, what are you doing around here?
Looking for you.
Well, I'm never very hard to find. What do you want me for?
I'm taking you back to the fort, all three of you.
Well, do you mind telling me what this is all about, Corporal?
General Scott's orders. All personnel are to report immediately and be confined to the post until further notice.
Well, I don't suppose this would apply to Mingo and I. We're not signed up for anything.
It applies to you, so just get on your feet and let's get going.
What would happen if Mingo and I said we didn't want to go?
What are you thinking, Daniel?
Thinking we've got to get out of here. You know why he's keeping us penned up in here, don't you?
Maybe he didn't care too much for your topic of conversation back there.
At least we found out what we had to know.
How are we going to prove it?
Well, not by standing here.
What happens if it turns out that we were wrong after all?
Well, we'd probably be heading back for Kentucky sooner than we thought, and probably a whole lot faster.
Purvis, I think you're bluffing.
I'll call you.
Dad, what can I do for you, Captain?
I need 5 or 6 good men to go over the stockade wall tonight.
You mean just bust on out of here? A man could get himself killed that way.
Unless he got caught. What 6 would you pick?
Well, I'd pick me for one.
And the other 5?
I don't know. They're all pretty much alike. Say, any of you men want to get court-martialed? And you get shot to death?
I'd prefer that to fighting Boone again.
All right, Purvis. Anybody else?
What are you aiming to do, Tad?
We aim to get out of here come dark.
If that's the case, why don't we all go?
We need somebody to stay behind and cover for us.
Well, you just keep on talking, Captain. What are you planning on doing once we get outside?
Have any of you ever kidnapped a man?
What's the kidnap?
No.
You've got a new experience coming to you.
Are you fixing on stealing the general?
Not until I have proof of what I think. Right now, I'm fixing to take out after a Mr. Anderson.
As you can see, I've marked the chart with crosses to indicate the disposition of my troops. No one group will include more than a dozen men. Their capture should present no problem. Now, once they're prisoners, you can gain access to the fort itself by appearing at the gates in Continental uniforms. I'll make sure the garrison is a small one. Now, this is a detailed diagram of the fort itself, showing gun emplacement, powder magazines, storerooms for supplies. Do you have any questions?
I think not.
Then that brings us to the small matter of money.
5,000 pounds. The rest to be delivered when the fortress is secured. I believe that was our agreement.
Yes, that's quite correct.
You may count it if you like.
Oh, I hardly think that's necessary. After all, our business must be founded on mutual trust. Your health, sir. His Majesty the King.
Now, if you'll excuse me, General, I'm anxious to be on my way.
Oh, I suggest you hide those in your boot in case some highwayman tries to take your purse. They're quite damning evidence.
For both of us, the handwriting happens to be yours.
A gesture of good faith on my part. Good night, Mr. Anderson. If all goes well, I'll see you on the 26th.
Good night, General.
I almost forgot. You fellas go ahead. Come on, Montague. I won fair and square, you know. It's a good game, too.
You know what you're supposed to do.
Captain, don't you worry about a thing. We'll put on a good show.
How do we get back in?
If I'm right, we'll walk in through that gate. But if I'm wrong, you better head for the hills because that's where I'm headed.
Sorry, but I'm closed for the night.
Well, this may come as a surprise to you, Mr. Rowley, but you just opened up again. Come on in, boys.
But I thought you were confined to quarters.
The general changed his mind.
Mr. Anderson, your guest, is he retired for the night?
Mr. Anderson, oh, he's the New York merchant who was lodging here.
Did you say he was lodging?
Yes, he left shortly after dinner. He must be well on his way to New York town by now.
Well, Captain, you tried, but I reckon we're a little late.
There's a chance those British boats won't leave until morning.
British boats? On the west shore of the Hudson? Well, the general should be informed of this.
The general already knows, Mr. Roby. Do you have any horses?
I have two, but they're both sorry mounts.
Purvis, you and Tatum saddle the horses. Mingo, you'll ride with me. Noble, you and Slade keep an eye on Mr. Roby. He may not be mixed up in this, but we can't afford to take the chance. The rest of you can follow me on foot.
Captain, you know it's 5 or 6 miles to Teller's Point. Now, that's a long way to walk. Wait a minute. I got an idea. There's a farmer living down the road with a wagon and a team. Now, that'd get us there a lot faster, wouldn't it?
Do you think he'd lend them to you at this hour of the night?
Well, Mingo, I was figuring he could be persuaded.
Let's go.
Figure on him getting back. Depends on what kind of trouble I run into. If they ain't back for dawn, I'm heading out. I got no hankering to face a firing squad.
The night's still long, gentlemen. Another drink or two might make it shorter. There'll be no charge, of course.
Well, now that's what I call real hospitable, especially for a man that's being held a prisoner.
Here, I'll take that.
Drink up, gentlemen. There's more where that came from.
At least we know where he is. Now all we have to do is figure out a way to abduct him.
I'm sorry to keep you waiting, sir.
You take the sentry on the right. I'll take the other one.
Well, excuse my dress, Major, but it's rather late. I'd given up all hope you'd be here tonight.
I stayed off the highway to avoid the possibility of being robbed. Has the boat come up from New York yet?
She'll drop anchor sometime after midnight, sir. Shall I turn out the men and strike camp?
Let them sleep. Daylight will come soon enough. And I've been assured there will be no American patrols in this sector.
Well, then I assume your mission was successful.
The Beyond my expectations. I have here a transfer of title to Fort West Point to be effective on the 26th. And here are the plans of the disposition of General Scott's forces.
Well, may I see those, sir?
Oh, I'm afraid not. The information will be confidential until Sir Henry Clinton gives his approval.
But,
I have no doubt that you will see them soon enough.
Yes, sir. Are you sure General Scott can be trusted to carry out his end of the bargain?
The handwriting is his warranty. If he fails, I'll see the plans fall into the proper hands, and he'll be hanged for treason.
Yes, of course. Well, if you'll excuse me, Major, I'll try and get some sleep.
A capital idea. Beautiful night, Captain.
Yes, indeed it is.
There'll be no cooking fires tomorrow morning, Captain. Men will breakfast on the boat.
Yes, sir. Good night, Major.
Good night, Captain.
What goes on out here?
Captain, over here!
Guard!
Keep going, Daniel. I'll try to hold them off until you reach the horses.
I'd never make it.
Judging from the sound of things, they didn't wait. Come on.
Are you two all right?
Yeah. Well, the reinforcements arrived in time.
Captain, you went and did it, didn't you? Ain't he a prize?
I don't think they'll come at us anymore. When they find him gone, they might change their mind. Let's get out of here.
Gentlemen, it looks like you're gonna have to carry Mr. Anderson.
Let me in. Let me in. I have no time to be announced. General, I tried to keep him up.
It's all right, Oliver. Let him in.
Yes.
Now, Roby, will you please explain this unwarranted intrusion? You were told never to come here.
Your pardon, sir, but this couldn't wait. They know.
Who knows what?
The Rangers, sir. They found out about you. They've gone after Mr. Anderson.
Oh, confounded man, that's impossible. I made sure they were all restricted to the post.
Then some of them escaped. They came to the tavern just as I was closing and held me prisoner. I just now broke free of them.
I'll wager Boone was with them.
A big man with an Indian friend.
That's the one. I should have had him put in irons. There's an irony, Roby. All my months of careful planning thwarted by an unschooled farmer in a coonskin cap. There's little chance they could capture Andre. He has a sizable escort of British troops. And without him, there's no proof. And I can have those Rangers up before a firing squad tomorrow. On the other hand, it's best to be prepared. It's possible they'll try to contact Washington. Oliver!
Yes, General?
See that a boat's put in the water and pack what personal belongings it can carry. There'll be a British frigate dropping anchor off Point Teller sometime after midnight. We'll board under a white flag.
Tonight, sir?
Within the hour. And Oliver, dismiss the guards.
Yes, sir.
General?
Yes, Roby.
I was wondering what's to become of me. I dare not return to my tavern. My coming here to warn you proves my guilt.
Unfortunately, Roby, that can be a consequence when you start to dabble in intrigue.
But you could take me with you.
That was not part of our bargain. And I doubt if the British could find any use for your peculiar talents.
Then I'll take my money on a horse. The Rangers borrowed mine.
Money, Roby? What money? That's the penalty for failure. It seems that none of us will benefit financially. You're welcome to the horse.
But you promised me £1,000.
Contingent upon my being paid. I'm a poor man, Roby. Undoubtedly as destitute as you are.
But you were paid £5,000 this very night by Major Andre.
You were eavesdropping.
A man must look after his own interest. I'll take the £1,000, or I'll see to it that you do not board that British ship.
You're quite right, Roby. You deserve your pay.
Dead? Dead drunk. More probably drugged. Seems we underestimated Mr. Roby.
This is an outrage, sir. I am a civilian, traveling with written permission from General Scott. I demand that he be notified of this.
You can depend on that. You stay here, Mingo. I'm going to go after the general. We'll lose him now. Who did this to you?
General.
Where is he now?
Boat. British. Waiting.
store follower. I'm afraid our time is growing short.
Oliver, look.
So you found these in Major Andre's boot?
Documents selling the nation.
The handwriting matches that on Major Andre's pass. Signed by the general. As if we needed any further proof. Daniel, this has been a most important evening.
I reckon so. But somehow I don't find much satisfaction in it.
I think I understand. Treason has a bitter taste about it.
It's a pity Roby's no longer alive. He made a most superior hot rum punch.
I consider that remark in rather poor taste, General.
Fortunes of war. Eat and drink. For tomorrow we die. Your health, Major.
I hate to break up this free liquor party, but we've got to get back to the fort. Somebody's got to take the news to General Washington.
Captain, you reckon they're going to let us back in?
Oh, I think so, considering we have the general with us.
Captain, you do me one little favor. When we go back in, put a gag on the general. He's liable to order them troops to shoot at us.
You think I couldn't be trusted to hear them talk, implying that I'd stoop to treachery.
Are you ready, General?
I'm ready, Mr. Boone.
Coronel, the Americano, General Wilkerson. He is here.
Well, he is no longer a general.
Show him in, huh?
Yes, sir.
Will you join me in a glass of wine?
Thank you.
Salute. To the success of our mission.
What mission?
General de Cordova tells me you have a plan. I am most anxious to know what it is.
I was to discuss that with General de Cordova.
Oh, he's in New Orleans attending to other matters. I am in command here. Coronel Navarro at your service.
In 5 days, dawn of the 16th, the Virginia militia plans to march on Kentucky.
And Kentucky?
They'll be waiting.
I realize you were once considered a military genius, senor, but you are still only one man. How do you intend accomplishing this?
As you said, Colonel, I'm a genius. One with influence. Governor Miles of Virginia is an old and trusted friend. It was on his recommendation President Washington promoted me to the rank of general.
Oh, but now you are no longer a general.
No. No longer. In the morning, I plan to leave for Richmond. There, I'll convince the governor the Kentucky militia, led by Daniel Boone, plans to attack Virginia. You Spaniards will have your revolution, and I will have what was promised me. Boonesboro.
Well, it takes two to make a revolution, senor.
Kentucky will fight.
And Daniel Boone, how will you handle him?
Boone. He'll be the trigger.
Daniel Boone. From a coonskin cap on the top of old Dan to the heel of his rawhide shoe, the rippin'est, roarin'est, fightin'est man the frontier ever knew. Daniel Boone was a man, yes, a big man, and he fought for America to make all Americans free. What a boon, what a doer, what a dream come a truer was he.
Governor, I realize it's difficult to believe. But it's equally difficult for me to say it. Boone and I are friends. But the truth is, he's land hungry. He controls Kentucky. But like most hungry men, he wants more. He wants Virginia.
You say he's been planning this attack for some time. How can you be sure of that?
I've been at Boonesboro, sir. Boone's militia is armed and ready to march, sir. Any day, sir, he'll attack. Without warning, without mercy. He'll take your land, your homes, and make it part of his own personal empire. Kentucky.
General, you're a Kentuckian.
Well, that's true. And I have holdings there. But unlike Boone, I have no wish to see conflict between the states.
Nor do any of us. We're too young a nation to survive the splitting of the Union. Boone is a friend of yours.
He has been for a long time, sir.
Yes, well then, couldn't you go to him, talk to him, convince him that this plan of his can only lead to disaster?
Well, I could try, sir. There was a time I could talk to him. No, I'm not so sure. People do change.
Yes. Are you fearful of your own safety, General?
Oh, no, sir. Well, if something should happen to me... Governor, if I should not return by the first light of the 16th...
And if need be, we'll march on Boonesboro.
Yes, sir.
General, it's been a spell.
How long, Dad?
I don't remember exact dates, but the last time the Shawnee were just about to have you for breakfast.
Then you showed up. Now, how could I have forgotten that? You know, it's a safe bet the Shawnee haven't.
Your message sounded urgent.
Dad, the Spanish want Kentucky.
Well, they have for a long time. So far, we've managed to discourage them.
This time they've got help. Virginia.
Virginia?
Mm-hmm. Dad, there's going to be a war between Kentucky and Virginia. And when the smoke clears, the Spanish are just going to walk over the dead bodies from both sides and take over.
Just like that.
Well, they seize control of Kentucky. They have control of the Mississippi. And they can stop the spread of the settlers west. That's you, Dad. Now, I was to see that war is a reality. Virginia will fight.
What'll make Kentucky fight?
Your murder by the Virginians.
Why?
Call it ambition.
Treason might be a better word for it.
Approaching. Open up.
General Wilkerson. He's hurt.
Daniel Boone is dead. I should never have brought Dan into it.
No, it couldn't be helped. Kentucky was at stake. Daniel Boone was Kentucky.
Well, all he wanted was to discuss peace, to prevent a war. But they never gave him a chance. They just opened fire. And then Dan, he fell. And then I...
Best have that wound looked after, General.
There's time for that. But there's no time for Kentucky.
We best prepare for an attack. Bring in the homesteaders. Barricade the walls. Come on, let's do it now.
No! You hide behind these walls, and Virginia has more than half won. The only way to save Boonesboro and Kentucky is to hit the enemy before he hits you, and hit them hard. Daniel Boone died for you. Don't let his death be a waste. You owe him the survival of Kentucky.
He's right.
Yeah.
But, General, how do we...
Well, form a militia. Any man, every man that can fire a rifle. Here, let me show you.
Yeah.
Now, the Virginia militia will come either by road or river. Now, you split up your force. Oh, this is the main road. Set up your line of defense here. Well, the rest of you, take up positions at the river here. If the Virginians take the road, those at the river can quickly reinforce the others. If the Virginians should advance by the river, we'll hit them with the entire force there. You give them everything you've got. Save Kentucky at all costs. You'll need leadership. I offer you mine.
No, you've done enough already, General. Kentucky's not your responsibility, it's ours.
That's right.
You rest. Now, you heard what the General said. Come on, let's get moving.
Oh, I can't bring your gun, Pop. Come on. Just go.
Daniel's wife.
I'll tell Rebecca. Kentucky will engage Virginia here, at the main road. Now, you tell the colonel to employ his troops here and here. So after Kentucky and Virginia have their war, he can cut the survivors down to the crossfire, and Kentucky will be his. Correction. Ours. Now, you tell the colonel he has my word.
Be sure that your word is good, senor.
You doubt my word, Lieutenant? Now, ride. Too bad, Boone. It was a valiant effort. Well, you have me, but you've lost the battle.
Not yet. We're gonna stop that war.
Eavesdropping. What some people won't stoop to in times of emergency.
Take off that shot pouch. And while you're at it, toss me your canteen. Take off your belt.
Or you're going to tie my hands.
Shut up and do as I say.
As you wish, Daniel. A lesson in military strategy. Never let the enemy slow you down. Shoot him first. I would if oppositions were reversed.
You already have. Now turn around, get down on your knees, and hold your hands up.
You haven't a chance, Daniel. Colonel Navarro was camped just over those hills. The only chance you have is on your own.
I can stop Kentucky, but I need you to stop Virginia. Now get down on your knees.
I see. Show that the bait is false and the fish won't bite. You have intelligence, Daniel, and courage. But I think I can match them. Should be an interesting contest. However, if there's one thing I learned being a soldier, it pays to be in the superior position. I'm bound, but you're wounded. You're being pursued by an army. I'm not. You have 2 days. I'm in no hurry. My plan is near completion. Yours is just beginning. You know, winning a contest is what makes it worthwhile. You're gonna lose this one. You first.
Sit down.
If I don't stop you, blood poisoning will. You want me to take that bullet out?
Your concern is very touching, General. You always doctor up a man after you shoot him?
If you even swallow loud, I'm going to turn that shifty mind of yours into fish bait.
How about a drink?
Not till we need one. Stay where you are.
You, lost a lot of blood. We should have gone to Boonesboro first and had that bullet taken out. And then rested up a bit.
You know, you're acting like this is just a stroll through the woods, Wilkerson. But I know different. If this plan of yours works, maybe you'll be rich. Maybe some Spanish history book will say you're a great man someday. But if it fails, both sides will end up hunting you, and you're going to be dead. Man, you'll have dirtied up your name. Those are high stakes for any gambling man. You could have been anything you wanted. Maybe even president. Why? Why are you selling out both yourself and your country?
I was in the Army a long time, Dad. You can't spend medals or prestige. Land. Land is what war is all about. I fought in many battles over a lot of that land. It was soaked with soldiers' blood. But who got it? The opportunists, the politicians, the grabbers, those who watched men die and then took. Did the men who fought get any? No. The vultures who followed, they took the lion's share. The real victors, to them went the spoils. The land, the wealth. See, Dad, it's quite simple. Just create a war and then sit back like a vulture.
How can you be so sure of the Spanish? How do you know you won't be the last vulture in line picking on a clean carcass? Maybe your plans are not as complete as you figured.
You underestimate me, Dan. They need me, and the information I possess to maintain their position. I was a general, you know.
You're the one who needs reminded. Right now, I'm taking you back to the governor of Virginia.
Well, if you want that responsibility, you just go ahead and take it. Just another burden on your shoulders, Dan. I won't try to escape, Dan. I won't. I made one mistake by letting you live. I intend to correct that mistake by seeing you dead.
One swallow. That's one reason you won't make it, Boone. You're too much of a gentleman, letting your prisoner have the first drink. Look at that sun. It'll beat you like a whip. Wounded, no water. That sun, you'll dry up like a bone. A bullet. Saying that shoulder could even things up.
With one difference. You'll still have the gun. You'll need it.
Get up.
I know where we can get us some mortar, Boone. They picked up our trail. Give it up, Daniel.
Are you going to get up?
Go on. Shoot, Dad. If you want the Spanish soldiers to come run it.
Remember, you're in this for profit, not glory, General. If I pull this trigger, you're going to be dead.
And so will Kentucky.
¡Alto! ¡Alto! ¡Depresa! ¡Huí un tiro!
You're insane, Dad.
We still got a war to stop. This won't bring the soldiers down. Let's not move.
Mira, son acá.
We'll rest.
I could take that bullet out. Otherwise, blood poisoning will kill you before I do.
All right. Come take it out.
You know, it's only a few inches from that bullet to your heart.
It's only an inch from this barrel to your brain.
There will be pain. You might lose consciousness.
There's too much pain. My finger might jerk. So you use your own judgment.
you looking for?
I remember a creek. Runs through here someplace.
Water? There's your drink. A mouthful of dust. If you don't get some water soon, you're not gonna last another day.
We'll rest a spell.
Say, Dan, remember the time we went hunting together up in Tennessee? That was a hot day. We found that creek. The water was cool, like a spring rain. And we slept under the shade of that big elm tree. That tree must have been over 1,000 years old. I wonder if it's still standing there. Sleeping under that elm. Pretty big tree. Well, even the strong have to fall sometime. You're just like that old elm. The only way to bring it down is with an axe. Why don't you quit, Dan? Go down. It's only a couple of feet to the ground.
If I go that far, I might as well go 6 feet under.
You're a fool. You're a fool.
Once you told me to quit. Now I'm telling you to stay down.
Well, Colonel, glad you could make it. Have you got any water for me?
Oh, yes. I have plenty of water.
See what I mean about being in a superior position, Boone?
Your position just now was rather unfavorable, General. For a general, you seem incapable of disposing of one mere backwoodsman. I see why you retired from the Army, General, to make room for the more competent.
Well, Virginia will attack Kentucky. And that's the important thing, Colonel.
Oh, yes. Thanks to your talent for deceit.
Make your point.
The point is, it is time for your complete retirement. Your services are no longer required.
Wait.
Seems those rifles are not just pointed at me, General.
You will both receive food and water. And you will be shot at dawn.
After you take Kentucky, Colonel, how do you plan on holding it?
Without the aid of a traitor. Tomorrow at dawn, the Virginia militia will march on Boonesboro. Soon Kentucky and Virginia will be at war. I wish you could witness it.
I have another engagement. Remember, Colonel?
Ah, yes, of course. The firing squad. See you at dawn, General.
Mind if I smoke?
For a man that's about to face a firing squad, you're mighty calm.
Well, I took a gamble. I lost. I was a victim of greed and betrayal.
Speaking of carcasses picked clean, something else dragged its kill in here.
Just like Navarro.
For a gambling man, you throw your hand in mighty easy. I'm gonna do a little gambling myself.
Where are you going?
I'm gonna gamble that you're as hungry to live as you were to line your pockets.
We have to survive to profit, Daniel.
Evening.
I have a feeling we're about to form an alliance.
Of a sort. You may not like the terms.
Well, I don't like Navarro's.
You're gonna help me stop your war.
Why?
Because it's your only chance to stay alive.
Well, even if we escape, what's going to keep me from leaving you and going my own way?
Well, for one thing, there's Navarro. There's the militias of Virginia and Kentucky, not to mention me. For a man who wanted lots of land, you're going to be lucky to have enough to cast a shadow on.
Yeah. What have you got in mind? That? Against rifles?
2 rifles. It's better than facing 10 of them in the morning. Now, there are 2 sentries. I figure if one of us can jump out there and attract their attention, the other can get them with this.
It's a rather primitive idea, but what happens to the fellow who leaps out there?
It depends on the fellow who's in here.
Mm-hmm. Good luck, Daniel.
I sort of figured on you being out there.
Now, you just remember, Daniel, you've got more to lose to the Spanish than your life. There are 2 sentries out there. They're both armed. Now, if we're going to get out of here, you have to depend on me. make it before dawn.
We better. For your sake.
Yes?
Governor, the militia is ready.
Any news yet of General Wilkerson?
No, sir.
Tell them to prepare to march.
Like cubs at the mercy of eagles. Lancers?
Militarily speaking, ours is a very awkward position.
Use your rifles!
No, Dan. Seems the only way the colonel can feel like a general is if he kills one.
You're no good to me dead.
I don't intend to die.
Those are strange words for a man in your position.
I'm a general. I'll accept your surrender now, Colonel. Always the gentleman. You'll never learn.
I reckon not.
I'm sorry, Dan. This is where I break our alliance. If I go to Richmond, I'll end up in front of a firing squad.
You'd better get a good head start. If just one man dies on either side, I'm going to come looking for you. And I won't stop until I find you.
Bye, Dan.
What is this?
Governor, have you ordered your militia to march yet?
You've got to stop them.
I already have.
Hello, Daniel.
He told me everything. I had no choice but to place him under military arrest.
Why? Call it a sudden attack of integrity.
Courage might be a better word for it.
General, I'm sorry.
I left you no other choice. Goodbye, Governor.
Goodbye, sir.
I wonder if I'll make it to my court-martial.
Sir.
That answer your question?
He's saluting the general. The firing squad will deal with the traitor. Dan.